Tonight, calls for wireless steel to be used in the South Australian Government's stimulus package. And St Pat's organisers expecting a big crowd for tomorrow's race.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. In developing news this evening, the RAA has closed its Whyalla office while an employee is tested for the coronavirus. In a statement, the insurer says it sent employees home today, with the office to open again on Monday pending the results. They say the decision to shut down was taken to protect community members from potential exposure to the illness, which has been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. Should the test return a positive result, both the RAA and authorities will work to identify and alert those in the community who may have come into direct contact with the individual. The member for Giles is pushing for wireless steel to be used in projects funded by the South Australian Government's stimulus package. City Council also backing the idea, saying it would be a boost for the local economy.
A proposal set to boost the rural economy during a downturn sparked by coronavirus.
During my first term in the previous government, I moved to completely overhaul steel procurement practices in South Australia when it came to state-funded projects.
Eddie Hughes says it's a policy that should now be replicated by other states.
It's something that should be picked up by the federal government as well when they're providing some of the funding for projects in the state. They should require the use of Australian steel.
The Whyalla Council in full support.
Steelworks does employ thousands of people, and I guess the more business they get, then that is what provides businesses to the smaller business in town.
A positive flow-on effect for the region.
It's all the shops, it's all the butchers, the bakers and everyone else in the community that benefits.
And it's not just Whyalla who would benefit.
It's good for the steel industry generally in this country, both here at Whyalla, at Port Kembla, at the electric arc furnaces.
You know, it's quality steel, so buy Australian quality steel as well rather than cheaper imports. So it's not only good for the economy, but it's also good for the people that are the customers that are getting the steel.
The state government in a statement today says projects funded under the government's stimulus package must meet certain criteria. This includes the ability to start work within a short period of time, be labour intensive and require significant local purchasing of services and supplies. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
2 Port Lincoln teenagers have been charged with property damage at a school this month. The 2 boys aged 14 allegedly smashed 8 windows using rocks sometime between the 6th and 10th of March. Following an investigation, police arrested and charged the teens. Both have been bailed to appear in the Port Lincoln Youth Court next month. The crackdown on cannabis in the Mid-North has continued, with a 58-year-old man to face court after police allegedly found 8 cannabis plants growing at his Peterborough address. Authorities conducted a raid just after 12 on Thursday to find the mature plants growing in his rear yard. He was reported for cultivating cannabis and will face Peterborough's Magistrates Court at a later date. South Australia's Transport Minister Stefan Knoll visited the Joy-Baluch Bridge in Port Augusta today. Works on the multi-million-dollar duplication project will commence later this year, with the original design now being extended.
A large project getting larger. The final design of the Joy-Baluch Bridge duplication is starting to take shape.
What we've been able to put as part of this project is an extension of the dual lanes running through to Burgoyne Street. We're also making sure that for Mackey Street we get a signalised intersection that'll help to make sure that traffic flows smoothly through there.
Mr Knoll making the comments during a visit to the city today. He says the extension will see homes and businesses compulsory acquired.
There has been some land acquisition and we know that that is always difficult. We've gone about that in as gentle and as sensitive a way as possible, and also tried to give as much time to be able to help people that have to move as part of this.
He says the upgrade is in the national interest.
What we've got here is a key bottleneck on our national freight network that needs to be fixed.
Final contracts were officially signed just over a week ago. The Mayor says it'll benefit the wider community.
It's a great opportunity also for improvement of our transport infrastructure across to Australia, not just through Port Augusta and the local area.
All involved say the new bridge will make the area safer for all users.
And every time you hear about a crash on the Joy Belush Bridge and the hassle that causes, those days are numbered, and what we'll see is works happen pretty quickly.
Major works are expected to begin later this year, with expected completion in 2022. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Students across the Eyre Peninsula are being urged to speak up against risky driving as part of a road awareness program. It follows what's been a horror week on South Australian roads, with just 3 lives lost in just 3 days.
A casual drive that quickly turned into tragedy.
Both of my legs were broken, my right wrist was crushed, all my ribs were broken, damaged voice box, damaged lungs.
Motorcyclist Yudi Mahan Ram was left fighting for life after his bike was struck by a P-plater who failed to give way at a stop sign. The father of one was flung off his bike and thrown 25 metres down the road. A horrific crash few would have survived.
So I had steel rods and screws used to essentially put me back together.
Yudi was in a coma for 46 days, doctors at the time giving him a 10% chance of waking up.
You know, still today they don't know how I made it through.
18 years on, and the father now shares his story in classrooms to help educate young drivers.
I don't want anyone else to go through the pain that I go through. You know, lack of sleep, all the emotional trauma.
16 to 24-year-olds, they make up 13% of the population, but they're over 29% of all fatalities in car crashes, so they're massively overrepresented.
Authorities and road crash survivors toured schools across the Eyre Peninsula this week as part of the state government's road awareness program.
Come out and speak to these people who are just about to drive, or in some cases just learning to drive, and try and encourage safe behaviours right from the get-go.
The rollout of the program is a timely reminder for road safety in what's been a horror week on South Australia's roads.
So your life, you know, completely changes, and what you think used to be normal is no longer normal for you.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, Broken Hill's racecourse ready for this year's St Pat's races, and a comic strip with a twist officially finished in Whyalla. Welcome back. Organisers of the St Pat's race meeting say it looks set to be one of the best in recent years. The finishing touches were being put to the track today, with a big crowd expected to attend the 55th running of the event.
Not long before the gates open and racegoers roll in. Race club members, tradesmen and a host of volunteers have been hard at work preparing for tomorrow's St Pat's races.
From the PA system to making sure the toilets are working, making sure the alcohol's on ice, making sure we've got enough water and enough shade.
Last-minute setups were in full swing today. In the Radford Pavilion, the tables have been set, the betting ring ready for punters looking to back a winner. Trackside, the picnic tables, shade sails and ticketed marquees all coming together.
We've got a nice breeze coming in, blowing off all those horrible flies, of course. We've got our corporate lounges going up. We've got our picnic sites. We've got Wacky's Bar next door. Yeah, it's all coming together.
The track is in pristine condition with healthy fields expected for all races. The new hub bar area will welcome the general admission crowd. Local police wanting everyone to have a fun but responsible time.
We've got extra police in town. They've come from all across the state to help us do RBT, RDT, so no drinking, no drug driving while you're here in town.
Gates open at 10 with the first race jumping at 1:20. The new Leprechaun race will be ran at 6 o'clock. Patrick Ryanke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Whyala's Suicide Prevention Network have unveiled their final mural, completing their world's biggest comic book exhibition. Multiple story artworks are outside 15 businesses in the city, telling a story of how to overcome mental illness.
It's the largest comic book exhibition in the Southern Hemisphere. Richard Parker, the brains behind the idea, doing his part to help those suffering from suicidal thoughts.
It's been a passion of mine for a long time. I also have a lived experience of depression, anxiety and suicidal ideation, so I decided to combine those two things.
46 local artists coming from all different backgrounds joining the project, including students from Nicholson Primary.
People living with a disability, the unemployed, LGBTQIA plus people, really wide spectrum.
Whyalla Council, Country Arts SA and SA Health contributed funding to the project, with plans to take it to other towns.
It tells the story of Will and Hope, and Will is a young man who lives with anxiety and depression, and Hope being a young woman, a young Aboriginal woman actually, who helps him.
It's a topic the Whyalla Vet Clinic know too well, holding a memorial yesterday for a well-known veterinarian who took his life 20 years ago.
Today we're a lot more aware of suicide and are more aware of what to look out for.
If you or someone you know needs help, call Lifeline on 13 11 14. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
One of the Mid-North's largest collectors' museums will be on display in Port Pirie from this weekend. Volunteers say there's something for everyone, from military artefacts to over 1,000 Barbie dolls.
These sheds are a collector's dream. They'll soon be on display for everyone to come and explore.
And it either had to sit in the shed and do nothing, or we were going to put it on display so that the public could enjoy it.
Dedicated volunteers have had all hands on deck in the lead up to the opening. They say it's important to showcase these antiques, bringing back many memories for some.
To show history, so people don't forget our history, and it's an interest thing. I'm interested in military. There's a lot of people out there interested in the military.
The public will be able to come check out the display this Sunday at an open day. 50 trucks also expected to attend from around Australia.
We've got a free public open day so that the people of Port Pirie and around the district can come in and have a look at what we've got.
Come down, have a look at displays. There's a sign displays, there's workshop displays, old tools, military.
There's already talks of expanding the museum in the future, and the organisers have identified their favourite pieces.
I've got two collections that I've been collecting for over 50 years. One is my Barbie doll collection, I've got 1,000 Barbie dolls, and the other one is my elephant collection, and I've got 3,000 elephants. So
entry will be free on the open day. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. Isolated families come together for a conference in Port Augusta. And cricketing legends preparing to strap on the pads once again in Port Pirie. The Isolated Children's Parents Association held their annual conference in Port Augusta today. People from a variety of backgrounds coming together to discuss ways to improve educational opportunities in remote communities.
Travelling far and wide to get their concerns into the open.
A fair few motions have been presented today on trying to make School of the Air a better platform for a lot of our members' children.
The annual conference, a way to discuss changes in remote education.
We all need to have these discussions, and we have to be very honest about these discussions. Bring in the government and the politicians. We need to, be open about what we need and be very strong.
Today, the association was achieving an increase in the state education allowance.
It went from just over $2,000 to just over $4,000 per year per student. So this is very exciting for members.
Those involved say the conferences are needed to help establish the needs of remote families.
Just on your own, you can't really lobby for these kinds of things. You need an organisation there where you can come together and have some power behind you to go to ministers to ask for these things.
Those living rurally are passionate about education, with many having children attending School of the Air.
For me, obviously, education is paramount, and especially out there, you're not getting what you would get in a city or a town. So, it's up to us. It's up to us as families.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Augusta Council is expected to save around $100,000 after removing the town's historic wharf from its asset register. Up until recently, it was assumed the wharf was under care and control by the council. However, recent investigations have discovered it's cared for by another party. The council earlier in the week successfully moved a motion to remove the wharf from the register.
That's not saying that we do not care or want the wharf here in our city. It's a very important part of our history and our heritage.
Further legal opinion about its future has been sought. Port Pirie is preparing for a bumper weekend of sport, with the Masters of Cricket game and junior workshops just weeks away. Some big cricketing names will take to the field, competing against local favourites.
It's the sound of summer. Memorial Oval will soon be packed with spectators, with the Masters of Cricket game fast approaching.
We've got a very exciting event. Got the ACA Masters coming to play the Port Pirie Cricket Association in a T20 game on Friday the 27th of March. The game's going to be between 4 and 7 o'clock.
Some of Australia's former cricketing greats will be turning back the clock.
Yeah, I reckon the rug Dougie Bollinger is going to come and fire down his left armers. He's a quick bowler that's played for Australia. Wayne Flipper Phillips has obviously played Test cricket for Australia as well.
Also some female cricketers involved. So one of them is Lauren Ebsery, who's played Big Bash.
Organisers have been busy already, with 250 students taking part in a T20 clinic today. There'll also be another junior clinic held Thursday the 26th, coinciding with the Masters of Cricket game.
Boys and girls all play cricket now, so it's just an opportunity for them to rub shoulders with people that have been there and obviously played at a high level of cricket, either state or international.
Residents are encouraged to come along to the bumper finish to the cricket season.
Hopefully we get about 100 kids on the Thursday night, hoping to get a couple of thousand people here on the Friday afternoon, evening to come watch what should be a great game of cricket.
More information can be found online. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We preview the weekend's cricket action, and Rachel will have the weekend weather forecast. Hello again. It's been a week of grand finals for the Port Lincoln Basketball Association, with the league wrapping up its summer season. Teams are now preparing for tonight's A-grade showdown between the Rangers and the Sharks.
A hive of activity as Port Lincoln's basketball teams take to the new courts for this season's grand finals.
They've been some really close games today. Yeah, really, really good.
103 teams have competed this season, a record number for the association. The top teams making it through to this week's grand final.
We've had the B-men's, most of our junior finals have been tonight, but B-men also. We've got A-boys playing right now and B-women playing right now.
It was a close game in the B grades men grand final last night, with Rangers defeating Tasmans by a slim 2 points. Magpies were difficult to stop when they pulled up to the basket and hit nothing but net, slowly extending their lead. Billy Haybick was crowned MVP for the Tassies, while Michael Dickinson took it out for Waybacks.
The competition's been still very strong, so it's been good to see.
The Leisure Centre's new multi-million-dollar courts being put to the test in last night's competition.
It's great to have 3 courts running at once for a lot more atmosphere and enabling teams to play a bit earlier in the night too.
Tonight's showdown in A-grade men's team will see Rangers take on the Sharks. Who will win is anyone's guess.
It'll be close. It'll be close. I'm really not sure.
Nathan Rector, 7 Spencer Golf News.
To cricket now, and its grand final week in Whyalla, while Port Lincoln and Port Pirie seasons are also reaching a climax. Here's our experts with their tips.
Hello and welcome to prelim final week of Port Pirie cricket. Firstly, congratulations to Port Germain after their win in last week's qualifying final. This weekend, it's Wandera up against Solly North at Memorial Oval from 10:30. Both sides will be looking for their batsmen to step up after disappointing performances last week. These sides have met 4 times this season, with Wandera holding the upper hand 3-1. Significantly, Wandera have won the last 3 matches, losing just 8 wickets in total. I'm tipping Wandera.
Hello and welcome to the Whyalla Cricket Association Grand Final tips. The first match at 10:30 this Saturday is in the B grade between West Whyalla and Central Whyalla. After Central Whyalla pulled the curtain on South Whyalla season, I don't see them doing it again, and I see West Whyalla winning this one. In the afternoon sees the A grade between Central Whyalla and North Whyalla. I see a good tussle here, but Centrals are always good in the grand final, and I'm tipping them in a close one.
Welcome to this week's Port Lincoln Cricket Tips. Preliminary final round here after 2 crackerjack semi-finals last week. Southern Egg got the job done over Tasman's and Charlton defeated Waybacks. So this week sees Tasman's host Charlton at Centenary. As going to be a great game. It's one of the hardest games to win all year, the prelim final. Can't go past the Tassie boys to get up and get into the grand final and play SES. Thanks for listening to Port Lincoln Cricket Tips.
To the weather, and it's set to be sunny but a little windy this weekend. Here's Rachel with the details.
Good evening. It's been a mild but windy day today across our region. Port Augusta and Port Pirie both reached 27 degrees, Whyalla 25, Port Lincoln 23, Broken Hill sunny and 24, and a shower and 23 in Adelaide today. On the satellite, a weak trough is bringing some patchy rain to some areas of South Australia. Skies in the west clearing thanks to a weak high pressure system, while skies in the north are clear thanks to dry winds. It'll be a choppy day on the water tomorrow with southeasterly winds 20 to 25 knots, seas reaching 2.5 metres. Sunrise is at 7:13 with sunset at 7:35. Fine and sunny tomorrow. Port Augusta set for a top of 25 degrees, Whyalla 23, Port Lincoln partly cloudy and 21, Coffin Bay 22, Woodner 24, Corn 25, sunny and 24 in Broken Hill, Port Pirie 26, Clare 21, 19 in Cleve, Kadina 23 and Adelaide will be sunny and 21. Looking ahead to the next 4 days, partly cloudy in Port Lincoln into next week, 22 Sunday, 27 Monday, rising to 31 on Tuesday. Cleve 22 on Sunday, warming up to 30 on Monday, 33 Tuesday. And it'll be partly cloudy for Woodner and 27 degrees on Sunday, sunny and 32 Monday, sunny and 35 on Tuesday. Whyalla will be dry and sunny for the next few days, 24 Sunday, 28 Monday, 31 Tuesday. Partly cloudy and 27 on Sunday in Port Augusta, 31 Monday, 33 Tuesday. And in Kadina, 26 Sunday, 29 Monday, partly cloudy and 30 on Tuesday. Port Pirie will be fine and sunny with temperatures hitting 31 by Tuesday, a bit cooler in Clare with tops of 23 Sunday, 26 Monday and partly cloudy and 29 Tuesday. And sunny conditions for Broken Hill, 25 Sunday, 26 Monday, 29 Tuesday. So it'll be windy but the sun will be out over the next 4 days. Have a great weekend everyone. John, it's back to you.
Thanks, Rachel. And that's the local news for tonight and the week. Just a reminder, you can keep up with us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. I'm John Hunt. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later tonight. Have a great weekend. Good night.